Okay, some more. Hopefully my computer won't crap
So
out.
everybody starts trying to protect what theirs because someone's trying to take it. You don't have to take. You can encourage people to build. You can't stop.
Oh, again, it's, right. Let's just have people charity. That'll solve the problem. Let's build the Hoover Dam. We'll just ask for contributions. Let's build a National Defense Army. Yeah, we'll just ask people to contribute voluntarily. Ain't gonna fucking work.
A kid who is born with something inside of them that want to make something of themselves. You can't.
Oh, come on, Renetta. We're not talking about that kid, are we? No, we're not. We're talking about some shiftless little nothing, okay, who sits there and just thinks, oh, I got a free ride. I got get out of jail free cards, a whole endless supply of them in my little game of Monopoly. All right? I got cash and hotels I can throw on the board at any time I want. It's an unfair game, and you keep pretending that it's something else. We're talking about people who earn their way. No, we're talking about the spawn of the people who earn their way.
You can't do anything to stop that. And the kid who's a broken human being, the kid who's a disaster of a soul, you can't give them enough money to keep them from.
Yeah, but what you can do is you can take some of these carrots and you can say, okay, instead of getting paid $5 an hour, $7 an hour, we can pay you $15 an hour for 8 hours of honest work, or maybe $30 an hour. Okay, because we're going to respect your 8 hours, and we're going to have respect for your dignity. We're not going to treat you like a mule. We're not going to treat you like a piece of shit. We're going to respect your humanity. We're going to respect your time. We're going to respect your sweat. We're going to respect your sore back. We're going to appreciate what we're going to extract from you, and we're not going to be, in my opinion, crazy motherfuckers and consume our own kind.
Destroying themselves with that money and that privilege. It's natural selection at its finest.
Yeah, well, there isn't natural selection anymore, Renetto. We invented the condom, so that game is over. We're civilized, okay? We're not natural organisms anymore, because we have 10,000 years of civilizing knowledge and intelligence. We can be reasonable and rational. We can write on a piece of paper a word like fairness, and we can understand what it means. We can understand the concept. Nature can't do that. We can. You're saying we shouldn't because why? Why? Yeah, I don't know. The why is because you have. Is that it?
There's just so much negative energy on, he did this and he did that and he has too much and these people are horrible and it's just a complete waste of time.
Yeah, like I said, the American Revolution was a complete waste of time. Why complain about the way the system was? Why complain about the English tea and fur company, or whatever the hell it was, and its subsidized tea? The fact that the Americans couldn't compete with the subsidized tea. It was subsidized tea in the harbor. English tea, okay, was in the harbor. Cheaper tea was in the harbor, okay? It wasn't goddamn more expensive tea. But yeah, don't complain about the trade wars or the this or that. Don't complain about any of the configuration of the rat maze game, all right? It's just the way it is. This is the way it should be. Yeah, it was ordained this way, and anybody complaining about it's got to be just, they're crazy. They're upside down. Complainers are upside down. Yeah.
In my opinion. So look, everything you have is an inheritance.
You said it again, and it just isn't true. People overcome inheriting nothing, and people do nothing with what they inherit, and that's just nonsense. Certainly advantages are going to exist. The ideals of a civilized human is to try to balance those as best possible, to create a system of rules where the cream rises to the top, not the fat, the cream.
On the fact that you sent your kid to college, or that they started off life ahead of someone else, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, and it's always been the way it is. There's been civilizations that were the way they were, and they were stupid. Like I've used this example, I'll use it again. The Egyptians wasted their resources building stupid pyramids and crashed and burned because of it. Because they didn't have any values. They didn't have any sense of proportion and rationality. And so instead of spending money and surplus in a rational way, they wasted it. They squandered it. And we're just squandering our potential by creating human beings that have no incentive to do any productive, to make any productive contribution to society, and creating other human beings that we give no means, no incentive to be a participant in our society. They might as well just feed off of it as a parasite, as a tick. Because they can't play, we're not going to give them a role to play, because we're wasting so much resource coddling people who have the right last name.
The way it's supposed to be. It really is. I mean, if we watered down the human species and watered down the intelligence and didn't let...
Oh, like I said, you just quit playing that game, all right? There's no, we're not biologically evolving in any constructive ways, okay? This isn't about, the rich people don't have more kids, idiot. They have less kids, all right? So it's just nonsense to argue this way. We don't inherit those kind of things, all right? What we are, what we become, it just has so much to do with what we're exposed to and what opportunities are we provided and how much damage we do to ourselves before we get to a point where we can actually actualize our potential. This is much more complicated than this silly, playing this Darwinian card. We're over it. We're past it. Okay, we're civilized, butthead.
Really talented athletes marry really talented athletes who are going to have kids who are more talented than your kids and perhaps go on to, be in the NBA or something because they're two really tall, athletic people married each other.
Yeah, or else they're going to turn out to be really fucked up and their intestine will be wrapped around their liver or something. So, I mean, that can work both ways. I mean, that can go really wrong, too. But whatever.
To try to devise a system where everybody stop focusing on that. It's just a waste of time.
Fairness is a waste of time. Yes, all right, we've heard from Lord Brunetto. Okay, Lord Brunetto says fairness is a waste of time. Ah, well, big surprise there. The Lord says fairness is a waste of time. That wasn't unexpected. No, sorry. I'm still going to hold up my fairness sign and, if I can, maybe whap you in the head with it now and then, I might.
It really is. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of passion.
Yeah, again, it's waste. No, it's a waste is giving somebody money for nothing, for doing nothing. That's a waste. Spending money on 100-foot yachts that might please 59 people is a waste. It's a preposterous, silly, nonsensical waste, and especially in a world where 2 million kids will go blind for a lack of vitamin A. It's a waste. I could even point to playing golf with Greg Norman as a waste, but, well, whatever. I understand it. I mean, we all like our little indulgences.
I understand the drive. I understand the passion to have everybody have a way to pull themselves up and make something of themselves. But not everybody needs to be wealthy.
Well, I don't know what that even means. Not everybody needs to be wealthy. Yeah. I mean, some people need to die in a coal mine in China. Some people probably need to get some kind of horrible disease from the dye used to paint your little canopy chairs. I mean, come on, get real. They need to do it. They need to die, okay? They need to get cancer, okay, to make the silly chair. Come on. This isn't about that. It's just about rational structure. It's about creating a good game, all right? Life is a game. This is a game, okay? And it's just about having rules to the game that are rational.
People need basic necessities in life, and I believe that there is enough wealth to go around to provide that. And I believe...
Yeah, well, you can believe it all you want, but the statistics don't validate any of that. There's this huge, giant consolidation of wealth. The numbers are as bad as they were in 1929. Okay, we've gone all full circle, and we're right back at disaster again. We're right back at the doom scenario. We've recreated the bullshit. We're back at, it's like I said, it's effective monarchy.
that the systems can be better, but America does a pretty good job
of reducing people's wages and obliging them to be more productive and extracting as much blood and sweat as possible from them until their lives are such a mediocritic piece of shit that they have to pop a bunch of pills or drink a bunch of booze to get through every fucking miserable, crappy, shitty day. So you guys can all live in nice, comfortable, air-conditioned houses. I mean, come on. Jesus Christ. If workers can get 3 times what they're getting for their work, okay, and all we have to do is dispose of this notion of your spawn being entitled to something.
Trying to help out, and I believe that our economy and our the evolution of our species is getting closer and closer to.
Look, the only thing evolving are our means, is our intelligence, our enlightenment. That's evolving, okay? Like I said, there's no evidence that we are physically evolving in any good way. All right, where the cockroach part of the human race is doing the breeding, not the elegant swan part. So let's not even talk about where that's going, because it's going nowhere. The only thing that evolves are ideas, conceptions, perceptions, how we view the world. That's evolving.
Saying, war is really not working, and the ideas of socialism really didn't work. And
yeah, again, you're saying that, and you have nothing. The only thing you have to prove your equation is that it was put in the hands of somebody who didn't know how to use it. So I could give a hammer to the average woman, and she'll probably make a mess of it, okay? So should I say hammers are no good? I could give a car to somebody who doesn't know how to drive, so they'll crash the car, and so I just say, the cars are no good, Yeah, look, there's a little bit of skill involved in creating an economy, getting the people in the right position to make it work, and engineering, all that. Yeah, there's a skill involved. And unfortunately, it's never been done by somebody skilled. It's been done by pretty creepy fuckers. And so you want to say that that's proof, that that's no more time. We can't argue about it anymore, because we proved it can't work, because we put it in the hands of incompetent people and they proved it doesn't work. Now, if that's what you're going to argue, then go ahead and argue it, but I say lame and bogus to that.
And having a welfare system kind of works, but it kind of even traps people into a welfare state, which is kind of taken from the rich and given to the poor. And
yeah, well, whatever. I mean, there wouldn't even be welfare if it wasn't for the fact that people on welfare have kids. So don't pretend that we have any compassion, okay? We got war veterans sleeping in their own urine on the street. So let's not talk about our compassionate society. We have mental patients living on the street, eating garbage. All right. Look, the only reason why there's welfare is they eat the families with dependent children. Yes, we are blackmailed by children. If it wasn't for the children, we would fuck all these broken people. We just say, you're broken. Darwin says you have to die. And I say that's a disgrace to our humanity.
And I'm not saying we're not making progress, and I'm not saying there isn't a lot more progress to be made.
Like I said, the progress is we have people working more jobs, more hours for less wages, so people at the very top can have more square feet and F-16s in the driveway and all kinds of bullshit. The longer and bigger yachts, that's the progress. Yes, we progress. We got over 100-foot yachts.
There is. But focusing it in such a negative way, and
I'm sorry. I don't know how you advocate for revolutionary change in some sort of positive way. You're always fighting some sort of evil. There's no point in changing for some minor improvement. I mean, I'm not trying to have I'm not saying, the sign is it's a funny color of blue, and I think it should be a shade darker. And okay, yeah, you can be polite when you're talking about something silly, but we're talking about something that kills people. It destroys people. It consumes them and eats them and exploits people just horribly. And yes, okay, so I'm going to argue from a negative point of view. Well, of course I am, because I'm arguing against something that's creating a horror.
And is really not productive. So So now I'm going to say it for the 15th time. And
yeah, right. Okay, the Lord is going to tell me, give up, don't bother, stop wasting your time. Okay, Lordy, I've heard what you got to say, but no, I'm going to tell my people to go bash your swords, sharpen your pitchforks, game on soon.
I'm rambling, and that's why I'm going to have to end this video, but focusing your energies on building character in children and giving them something besides the negative, look what he...
well, I'm sorry. You're going to keep saying it's about sour grapes, and it's not about sour grapes. If the real world scenario were created, you had a public park, and you had a race for 7-year-olds, okay, and you let some of the 7-year-olds who had parents could decide how far up the fucking track their kids were, and any kid whose parents couldn't show up as they were at work, or they were dead, he had to start at the starting line, and you're going to say that kid sitting on the starting line and where everybody else is way the fuck up the track, and he knows he's got no fucking game, there's no game here to be played, and you're going to say, oh, he's a little whiny bastard because he dares to say, well, I think this is a little bit unfair. Okay, he's a fucking asshole because he dared to open his mouth. He's not even doing that. I, as a spectator of this farce you're calling a race, I am going to stand up in the crowd and I'm going to say, this is bullshit. Alright? You're being unfair to that fucker. Alright? Fuck you, jackasses. Take your little snotty-nosed brat fuckers and put them back at the goddamn starting line. Alright? And that's what I'm going to goddamn do.
He's got, look what he's got, look what she's got, look how these wealthy people are all bad people, and look how they're destroying, look how they're holding us back. That's such a victim mentality.
No, I'm sorry. You're sit there pretense that you're doing something honorable when you're just fucking cheating. All right, there's no other word for it. You're goddamn cheating, and you're sitting there and trying to glorify it like it's well, this is the natural way. It's the natural way. Well, bullshit. It's a cheat.
And it permeates their brain. Well, I wasn't born into privilege, so I'll never have anything because my neighbor has it all. I'm going to fucking steal from them. I'm going to be a robber.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. That's not what I'm defending, okay? I mean, look, I have a father who's nagging me. He's old and he doesn't want me to be, cut out. But, I disinherited myself, all right? I just had a conversation with his 87-year-old man last week, and he's still trying to figure out some way he can worm it into my pockets. All right? I mean, so bullshit. That's not where I'm arguing from. I'm arguing for fairness. All right? You either get it or you don't get it, but you want to sit there and malign the word and say it doesn't mean anything and it has no applicability to human behavior? Well, I'm just going to laugh at you and ridicule the silliness of that argument. Fairness is a goddamn good fucking word, and we should strive for it wherever fucking possible.
I want to steal from the rich and give to the poor. I mean, that's such a...
Yeah, again, give to the poor. Where am I doing that? Where am I advocating stealing from the rich and giving to the poor? Where? So fucking justify that straw man with some words that came out of my fucking mouth. I'm advocating giving back to workers what they fucking earned.
Negative way to think. It's really not doing anything other than causing more division, more strife.
Yeah, well, right, again, so okay, the lords are telling me, don't complain, just eat your gruel and live with your cholera. Shut up. What, you want indoor plumbing? Fuck you.
More a sense of class warfare.
Yeah, game on, exactly. Class warfare. It makes good sense. There shouldn't be this class stuff except based on merit. Merit. Yeah, that's a good word. Merit. I'll just repeat that to you. Merit.
It's just really not productive, and it really baffles my mind to see people engage in this kind of what I believe is...
Yeah, well, it baffles my mind that I'm not baffled by why you do this, but why the middle class morons fall for this tripe that you're selling, this nonsense that somehow the world can't be fair and that somehow workers aren't the real value in the world. The real value is the guy who owns the workers. I mean, the defenders of the plantation is just, I'm sure there was lots of guys, fighting for the Confederacy, that didn't have 2 cents to rub together. And you're saying, man, what assholes. I mean, they would die so somebody could own other people. God, I mean, that's the definition of a fucktard. If there's a definition for fucktard, that should be the definition in the fucking goddamn, picture of that little fucker should be in the dictionary. Because, yeah, to die, to preserve something as silly as owning other people and owning the value of their work, bullshit to that.
Insane rhetoric.
Yeah, okay, insane. I'll just call yours creepy. Okay, how about that? Creepy. Yours is creepy rhetoric.
In some cases, from the mind of insane people.
Well, in some cases, your rhetoric comes from the mind of sadistic, maniacal, psychologically self-obsessed sociopath. I might even use that word, right? Because you're kind of sociopathic. I mean, you only value things that are connected to you, and you don't value anything that isn't connected to you. So if it isn't something connected to you, it's just a thing. It doesn't mean anything to you. So maybe I'll just call you a sociopath then. I mean, you're kind. I mean, the kind that argues your way is, there's some of them are just sociopaths. Jesus Christ. Kind of desperate, Renato, really. Desperate rhetoric. The end. Okay. Well, that was fun. Whatever. It's just... whatever. Fairness. I'll say it again. Fairness. It's a good word. Let's fight for it, people. Come on. You can do it.